We'd like to thank everybody for joining us today on our webinar, which we will be talking about post-processing your Eagle files using the services by OSH Park. So OSH Park is a service provider for PCB prototyping, has been around for a very long time. And we've gotten together with them to offer a very aggressive offer, which we'll be giving you the details about it in a minute. Now, today we actually have 3 panelists joining us today. Yep, I think you do have control, Drew, because you're moving the slides. Okay.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you were. I moved it back a little bit. Yeah, I see my mouse moving around the screen, and I'm not controlling it. So today. So today joining us, my name is Edward Paleto, as well as Jorge Garcia is joining us today. And we're both from the Autodesk Eagle Product Specialists. As a special guest today, we have Drew Fustini. Drew Fustini is part of the OSH Park team. Drew, could you tell us a little bit about you and your and what you're doing over there in OSH Park, please?
Yeah, hi, my name is Drew Fustini. I work for OSH Park or OSH Park. I design open source hardware projects that use our services. So let me switch, see if I can get to the next slide here. Hopefully.
Before we go there, just like to let everybody know that we currently have an offering with OSH Park. When you place an order with Eagle, you could use promotional code Eagle Offer, as you could see there. If you use that promotional code, you'll get a credit towards your next board. If it's the premium version, you'll get $100 credit towards your next board. If you buy the standard subscription, you get a $20 credit to your next board. Now, we have had some reports that the Eagle Offer coupon code is not working. Yes, go ahead and place your order anyway, and email eaglesales@autodesk.com. That's Eagle Sales. I'll put it on the chat, but just contact eaglesales@autodesk.com, and we'll go ahead and get to you the promotion, in which will give you the credit towards your next prototype order as well. So now with us, I'll go ahead and let Drew go ahead and take over the presentation from this point on.
Oh yeah, so this is Drew. So OSH Park, we are a PCB ordering service that was started by James Neal, who goes by Lane. So we offer high quality lead-free boards with an ENIG or a gold finish. All of the boards are manufactured in the US, and we ship anywhere in the world with free shipping through free international postal mail. See if I can switch the slide here.
Yep, you did it.
All right, great. So OSH Park started off, it grew out of an electronics meetup in the Portland area called Dorkbot. And something they realized was, instead of each individual member that was working on hobby projects doing all their boards separately, they realized that if they pooled their boards together into one panel, it would make everything much more affordable. And then later on, it became a full company named OSH Park, and the OSH in OSH Park is a reference to open source hardware. But one of the things I wanted to emphasize, given our name, is sometimes people are confused. So all of the customer information and all the projects are private by default on our website. We do have a feature on the website that I'll show later on where you're able to share your project if you want to, but everything by default is private. Switch to the next slide here. So the way that this service works is we take a bunch of smaller boards that our customers will upload to our website, which we'll show you here, and then we panelize those into what's actually manufactured, which is about 18 by 24 inches. So what we're doing here is we're spreading that setup cost at the factory across all the different orders on the panel. So that allows people to get even very small boards. I think we go down to a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch. Makes it affordable to get those made. Switch to the next slide here. Hopefully, there we go. So, oh, a little bit too far there. So with our service, we offer both 2 and 4 layer. Hopefully I can go back there to that screen with the information. So with our 2-layer service, our basic service is $5 a square inch, and then you would get free copies of your board. So if your board was, let's say, 2 square inches, it would be $10, and you would get free copies of the board for that. And that service is will ship within 12 calendar days from when you place the order. 90% of the time, our orders ship within 8 calendar days. And then we do have a faster option for 2-layer called Super Swift, which is 5 business days guaranteed. So if you upload your design on a Monday, it's guaranteed to ship by the Friday of that week. And then we also offer 4-layer, and that is sent to fab every other day. So it's about takes about a week lead time for that usually. And we do also offer discounts for larger orders, which we call medium runs. So there's a link on the slide there to take you to our pricing and specifications page that lists all the different services that we have. This is kind of just an overview of what we offer.
So Drew, let me ask you, on the lead time, those 5 business days, is that from I place the order to at my door 5 business days, or 5 business days that it's guaranteed to leave you and on my way to me in 5 days?
Right, so that means the time in which we ship it. So you could also refer to this as the turn time. So from when you place the order to when we would ship the order from our office in Oregon to the customer. So we do free international first class mail, but we do offer other options, including next day UPS. So if it was in a circumstance where you placed your order on a Monday by 11 a.m. Pacific, it's guaranteed to ship that Friday, and if you had paid for overnight shipping, you'd then get it on Saturday. So the times that we list there are the time from which it will take us to then ship it from our office.
Cool.
Now, Drew, what is a medium order? Like 100 boards or 50 boards? What is considered a medium order that you mentioned?
So with us for 2-layer boards, medium run would be if you need over 100 square inches.
Okay.
And in that case, we then give a volume discount of $1 per square inch. So instead of $5 a square inch, it goes down to $1 a square inch. And then for our 4-layer boards, for 150 square inches or more, we then have our medium run pricing, which is then $2 a square inch. So it goes down from $10 to $2 a square inch.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
And if we go to the next slide here. So just to give you some links here with how to find out more information about OSH Park and our services. So we both have a blog where usually post like a new project every day that one of our customers has made. We're also on Twitter there. You can check us out on Twitter. Important website is our documentation website that has a lot of tips and tricks for different design tools, including Eagle. And then if you ever have any questions and you don't see it on our documentation site, please email us. We have 2 full-time support engineers that keep an eye on that email and respond to any questions that our customers might have. And if I go to the next slide here. So wanted to go over the process of what it's like to upload your board to Eagle, to OSH Park. And one of the nice things about using Eagle is that you can upload your .brd file directly to our website. So if you go to oshpark.com, you'll see the Get Started Now button. If you click on that, then you'll be asked to select a file from your computer. With Eagle, it's nice that you can just upload the BRD file directly. So I'm going to go through a few more slides here, and then I think we'll pull up Eagle and go through a live demo.
So let me just clarify here the benefit of this service. Usually when you're going to get the boards made, you create something called Gerber files, which is actually building or exporting files from Eagle, but it's going to be multiple files. On a 2-layer board, you're looking around 6 different files, Gerber, and 1 drill file. Then you actually send that to the board house. With this service, you actually are skipping all those steps, and you're just sending and uploading your Eagle board file, and they'll take it up from there. Is that correct, Drew?
Yeah, that's right. So it's definitely a time saver, and especially for people that are new to getting their boards manufactured, it saves the step of having to create a zip file full of Gerbers, which is the manufacturing data. So it's much easier to just upload your Eagle board file directly. So second slide here shows more of the process. So we've uploaded our board, and then it'll show us that, okay, it's detected a 2-layer board. It'll say the size of the board, and then it'll say how much that board will be for 3. So in this case, it would be $5.10, since it's a little bit more than 1 square inch. And then we can put in a name for the project, put in a description. In this case, the user wasn't logged in. This is a new user, so put in your email address, and then you'll be able to create an account. And then the next screen after that, when you continue, is we then show all of the different layers in the board, so you can review it and see if it's showing up as you expected it to when you designed it in Eagle. So this is both the top and the bottom of the board, and then goes through the different copper layers, silk screen, so you can verify that it looks the way you intended. Let me switch to the next slide here. So we scroll all the way down on that page, and we'll see the different layers. Also, if you're new to the process, something that can be very useful is there's descriptions there next to each of the layers that describe what the layer is for and some of the things that can sometimes be issues with it. And if you do notice you have an issue, we have links in there to different parts on our documentation website. If it's still not making sense or you're confused with something, please email us, support@oshpark.com. We'll be happy to help figure out what the issue is. And then if we liked our board design, then we would go through and click approve an order, and that would take us to the cart. And then assuming we like the preview, there's a couple different options that we offer in here, like I mentioned, like the super swift 5-day turn time, medium run if we had a large enough design or enough quantity, and then we would click through on that to the checkout, and we would just enter in our billing information on the next screen, and then we would then click to confirm our details, and then the final page would be our order confirmation screen. So that's basically the workflow of uploading your .brd file to our website, looking at the preview of the different layers, and then if you like that, you can go ahead and add that to the cart, and then check out with your shipping and billing information. And I think that should be this is just the last slide where you would enter in your credit card information. And so the next slide here. So one of the things to keep in mind when you're using Eagle is the design rule check and the design rule of files for our service. So one, to go over the DRC tool inside of Eagle, and then how to load up our design rules, which would be the .dru file. So one of the things that's important when using our service is to run DRC before you upload your board. So make sure that your design is conforming to what we guarantee for our services in terms of things like track width, track spacing, drill size. And I will do a live demo here, but before we switch over to Eagle, just wanted to go through a few more slides here. We have both the 2-layer DRU file, which has our 2-layer design rules, and we have our 4-layer DRU file, which has the 4-layer design rules. So those are both hyperlinks. You can also get to it in the Eagle section in our documentation website. And then once you've gotten that file saved to your computer, you just go to Tools, menu, DRC, and then you would load this DRU file. Switch into the next slide here.
In other words, if my DRC checks pass, it's pretty much guaranteed that my board, it should be able to work just fine when I get it, right? That's more or less what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's right. And one of the things with our services, we don't do design rule check on our end, so we rely on the customers to run design rule check or DRC in their CAD tool. So in the case of Eagle, it's easy because you can download the DRU file from our website and then be able to run that and know that you're complying with our minimum specifications for things like track width and drill size.
And clearance. So
And
that's
then
how you
one of
pass
the
on
things
the savings to the user then. Okay, got it.
And then, do you think I should do a live demo right now, or maybe that would work best?
Yeah, roll with it.
So let me
Okay.
let me stop my share and do your share.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and move the mouse for now. That way I could stop my share.
Okay.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. I think, let's see here. Can you stop sharing yours? And then I think I should be able to share my screen.
Oh, yeah, wait. Stop share. I thought I did. Stop share. Now I did.
Cool.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Now I did.
Now sharing my screen here. Let me switch over to, so hopefully you can see my Ubuntu system there.
Yes, we do.
Unlock it. And here I have Eagle 8.4.0 loaded, which is the latest version of Eagle. And here I have a board that was designed by actually one of our other people at OSH Park, Dan. This was a project on GitHub called the Tiny ISP. So just downloaded this here from GitHub. So I have the BRD file and the schematic on my computer, and then I opened up the BRD file. So we're looking at the board layout for this project. So wanted to go over what it's like to then load up the DRC, open up the DRC dialog box and load up the DRU file for our two-layer service, since this is a two-layer design here that we're looking at. So I'm going to go to Tools, ERC, and then if I click on Load, and I'll select, and if you haven't done this before, you can go to our website and save the file, which I had already done previously. And then I'm going to click on Open, and then I'll have the design rule files then loaded for two-layer OSH Park board. And one of the things to keep in mind is there's a couple other tabs here which we can tweak things. There's adjustable settings, and in the slides, that was one of the things that we'll probably go back to in a moment, is what some of the different settings mean. But one of the things I know I want to do for this design is change the same signal specifications here to be 0. I'm going to change that. And then I'm going to go back to the File tab, and then I'm going to run check. And then this is going to actually run the DRC and show us if we have any errors. So we can see here that, I'm sorry, one of the other things I wanted to mention as well was that it's important what layers we have displayed when we're running DRC. So one of the things I'm going to do in here is make sure that I turn off key stop in, so the stop mask layer on both the top and the bottom, since I'm not concerned about checking those with this project. I'm going to click OK there. So if they were selected, just click on them. So normally by default they'd be turned on. So I'm just going to click T stop here and B stop there, and it's going to turn off the view of the top and bottom stop solder mask layer.
Yeah, just a quick update on
So
that,
let's go
Drew.
back.
In 8.4,
Yeah.
you don't have to sweat it, because the way the DRC is organized, it's not a nuisance error anymore. So that's
Okay.
that's new in 8.4. So if you run the DRC, you don't have to worry about it.
All right, that's good to know. So in 8.4, which is we're running now, we actually did not need to do that. I think maybe the last time we had done this, it was still 8.3. So
yeah, correct.
You guys have you're pushing out new versions with new features and fixes. So that's interesting to see. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. So we're gonna run check here again, and then we're gonna get these errors. And then if we click on them, so what we want to do here is we want to, you know, if we design the board, or in this case, Dan had designed it, and I was able to talk to him about his design. And for each of these errors, we want to decide if it's something that's actually going to be a problem and that we want to fix, or if not, we can just clear that warning. So with these, given that this is trying to be a very small board, actually the designer, in this case me, I've looked into these different errors and realized it was not going to be an issue. But it's important to make sure that you look at each of these errors and decide whether or not it's going to impact your design or not. So in this case, I am satisfied that all of these are going to be okay. And so I can just click on approve. So if I click on one of the errors, I can click on approve, and then they will not be displayed anymore. And if I'm okay with all of them, to save time, I can also just click clear all. So once we've finished with the DRC, then we want to actually then upload the file to OSH Park. So I'm going to switch over to the browser now, and I can then open up or upload my BRD file. So if we were just go to oshpark.com, we would see this big Get Started Now button. If we click on that, then it would take us to this page where it says you can upload your design as an Eagle BRD file. So we can just click on select a file on your computer. And I have this in the file that I just had open in Eagle was inside this folder. And here's my BRD file, the tiny ISP BRD. I can open up that and we'll see it actually process the upload. It's going to upload the BRD file to the website and then generate previews that we can then look through.
Now, Drew, let me ask you, sorry, because sometimes people do funky things in their boards. So if does the system detect if there's anything that looks a little hokey, like, you know, some weird, like a milling layer, for example? Does this detect when somebody has features drawn on the milling layer to indicate that it's something they want cut out or something like that?
Yeah, there's a few things right off the bat that we may warn after you've uploaded. So in this case, the design notes here are all green, all good. So it processed it as an Eagle, detected it was a 2-layer board and the size of the board. So for example, if we had expected it to be a 4-layer board and it's showing up as a 2-layer board, then probably have to go back to Eagle and figure out what we were doing wrong. Another thing that can be commonly an issue is if the board outline is not defined, if not watertight, if there's a gap in that outline, then we're not going to be able to determine the size of the board. So that can be another thing where you might either see a very odd looking preview, or we will probably just have an error message here saying couldn't find the outline for your board. So in Eagle, that's the dimension layer. So you'll want to make sure that your dimension layer that is watertight, that it's a solid outline, that there aren't gaps in it.
Cool. Thanks,
So
Drew.
in this case, we have our name for our project, our description, so we click continue. And what we're going to see here, I was showing in the slides, we're going to see the different layers of the board. So right at the top here, we're going to see the top of the board with all the layers rendered, and the bottom of the board with all the layers rendered. And then as we scroll down in here, we can see the drills, where the drills are going to be. There shouldn't be an problem for Eagle, which is nice since you're just uploading the board file. But if you're using another design tool where you generated a zip file with Gerbers in your drills, there's different formats for drills, so sometimes this can look very unusual, and you can tell that it's definitely not doing what you had thought, in which case you'll have to go into your CAD tool and adjust the settings. With Eagle, should pretty much work all the time. And then we can see our bottom solder mask layer, bottom copper layer, bottom silkscreen. So we can just kind of go through all these. If one of them doesn't look right, for example, so top silkscreen. So a lot of times, like, people like to have interesting logos on the silkscreen. So sometimes it won't show up in the preview, or it might not look right. In that case, we have actually a page here that you can click on that will take you to our documentation about how to properly include a bitmap logo on the silkscreen. And, you know, if you read our documentation and it's still not making sense, please just email us, support@oshpark.com. We'll be happy to help. Here is what I was talking about earlier, the board outline. Here it's a solid outline, so had no problem figuring out the board size. And then we see the top copper layer. So we can either approve and it'll just be added to our projects, or we can, if we're happy and we want to go directly to the cart, we can approve and go to the order, like I was showing earlier in the slide. So now we have that in our cart and had something previous in my cart. Let me remove that so we can check out with the board that we just uploaded, and then it's just going to be our information here. And then if we wanted to, we could actually order it. And then after clicking order, we can confirm all the details and then choose our payment method, such as pay with credit card. So I think maybe switch back to the slides now. I think if there was a few more things on there that we wanted to cover. I know we probably only have a couple minutes left.
Sounds good. Go ahead and stop the share and I'll share mine.
Okay.
Let me ask while Ed is switching over. Because that happened to me with the logos. If it doesn't show up in the preview, then I have to assume that it's not going to be on the board. Is that pretty much it? So if I don't see it in preview, just go to the directions, make adjustments until I can see it in the preview. If I can't see it in the preview, I have to believe that it's not going to be on the board.
Yeah, so one of the things that can be a bit tricky is the tool that we use to render previews sometimes has issues with silk screens that are more than 300 dpi. So this is just for the preview, but we can our manufacturing process can handle it up to 500 dpi. So there's sometimes a weird gap in the middle where the way that we do the previews fails to render it, while actually, in fact, it'll be manufactured correctly. So if you happen to be in that case, in that kind of corner case there, like over 300, under 500, please just email us and we can always verify that it's going to be manufactured correctly.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Drew. Okay, so we do have the PowerPoint back up.
Drew, are you there? Okay.
Yes. Okay, great. I see it again now. So looks like I am viewing your screen. So I'll request remote control.
Approve. Yep. You should have control.
So, okay. On these different settings there, those different settings that we control in the DRC, this is a bit of an explanation about the different fields in the different parts of the control. This is also on our Eagle tips and tricks page as well. So you can find that on the website, on our documentation website. So let me switch to the next slide here. So just a few more of the different things, shapes, supply, masks that can be controlled. So as I said earlier, please don't forget to run DRC. We don't check design rules. We're relying on the customer to use the DRU file and make sure that they're not violating the specs like tray switch and drill size and things like that. The other thing I wanted to mention was we recently released this ULP for Eagle, which we call the OSH Park Eagle Tools. So you can get to this from our Eagle support page, which will link you over to GitHub. This is something you can download, unzip it, and then you can install the ULP into Eagle, which will then give you a button in Eagle that will allow you to easily do things with our service from Eagle. So the button will then add the ability to keep your CAM files and your DRU files up to date with our service. It'll also add a button that will allow you to upload the board to our website. Okay, so this is a screenshot here from our README on the GitHub, which talks about how to run the ULP to install this. And then once it's installed, you restart Eagle, and then you should see our little OSH Park logo as a button on the top there. And I think I probably have one other screenshot in here. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to mention was back earlier in the summer, Dan and I had done a hack chat with Hackaday. So if you have any more, if you're curious to know more about OSH Park and our services, there's a transcript from that that has a lot of additional insights about our services and kind of some of the history behind how our service came to be. And it looks like we're pretty much out of time. If we have another moment, I could show the Eagle tool, or the Eagle button in our new OSH Park button in Eagle.
No problem, man. Go ahead.
Go
Sure.
for it. You're good.
All right, let me. So if you can stop sharing there, then I will take back control.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, and while the switch happens, I want to let you guys know also that you can visit our forums at forums.autodesk.com. On the front page, you'll see a list of all the forums that Autodesk has, and you'll find Eagle there. So we have a very active community. You can feel free to leave any questions, any issues you may run into, feel free to post them there, and someone from our staff or one of our elites will get back to you promptly.
Yeah, we got the best elites
Great.
ever.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one more. Let's see if somebody gets super active.
So hopefully you can see my screen again now.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, we see your
Okay.
GitHub page. Yep.
And just to reiterate, so we have an Eagle page on our support website that links to a lot of these different things that I've been talking about, including our Eagle tools. So if we click on that link there, it'll take us to that GitHub repo that we just talked about. In there is the README, which we just I was just showing a screenshot from that about how to install the ULP. And then once we've done that, which I've already done in this instance of Eagle, we will then have a button here. So hopefully you can see my Eagle screen here with the board layout, and you'll see this little icon up here with the OSH Park logo. And this was installed by the ULP, and it allows you to do a few different things, like check to see if we've updated any of our design rules or if we've updated the ULP. It'll then, if there is, we can update and install. But the other feature that is handy is it allows us to, within Eagle, then open up the browser and without having to go through the step of selecting the file on our computer. So if I click on that menu option, then it'll pop up this little dialog box where I can click on quote and order, and then it'll open up my browser directly to a page with the file loaded in here. So we can do that process that we're just doing. This saves us the step of having to locate that BRD file on our computer. So it's a bit of a handy feature there without having to search around on our computer for the file that we're working on. And I think that is hopefully all the different aspects of Eagle that are relevant for using our services at OSH Park.
Do you do more than 4 layers, Drew?
We do not, no. So we
Okay.
just do 2 and 4 layer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't see many designs with more than 4 layers. Excellent. Now, just in case for everybody to understand, a ULP is a user language programming that Eagle has, which allows the community as well as the developers or from the support team actually expand the capabilities of Eagle by using a C-like language, which is what we call a ULP. So they can execute that and create additional tools like what OSH Park has done with Eagle already.
Yeah, let me ask you, Drew, because one of our attendees is asking, does the ULP work with older versions of Eagle? I know you guys didn't make this in version 8, but do you recall what version this first came out with? I figure it's either 6 or 7.
Yeah, it would have been, I believe, 7. And we've tested it with several different versions on different operating systems. So our intention is for it to work on all the different versions that our customers might be using. So if you do happen to use it on the version of Eagle that the person asking might have, please let us know on either by emailing support@oshpark.com, or you could also open up an issue in the GitHub repo here. But we definitely do want it to work on all the different versions on all the different operating systems.
Okay, thanks, Drew. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in. That way we can answer them now while we have Drew.
I'm going to go ahead and assume it could go as far back as version 5. It was version 6.
No, it will go as far back as the NetGet function that implemented DesignLink. So DesignLink came in 6 or 7. Do you remember?
That's the part I don't remember.
I think DesignLink came in 6.
No, but I'm thinking about
Yeah,
the
I'm pretty
file
sure.
structure because it's XML. When did we go XML?
We went XML in 6, so it probably works with 6. 'cause
Yeah,
I think.
correct. Okay, cool.
Okay, but it's cool because the user's on 7, so he should be fine.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
And I should just pull up Eagle here. So the way that you run in a ULP in Eagle is just you click on File, and then you click on Run ULP, and then we would select the ULP. In this case, I downloaded the OSH Park Eagle tools, and then you would just run that file there, which I've already done in this installation of Eagle.
Awesome.
Excellent. Are there any other questions, Jorge?
Nope, nothing else so far.
Okay. Well, it's pretty straightforward process. It certainly is convenient once you have the tool installed as well, because now you don't even have to go fetch for the file. You're actually able to upload the file directly from within your working environment as well. So, all right, you want to give us a little wrap up of what we did today?
Yeah, so just a quick recap. We were able to see how we can upload files to OSH Park, OSH Park to be more correct. We can do the Eagle board file itself. You can upload Gerbers because OSH Park very, very generously offers preset cam jobs for this, so it's very easy to generate Gerbers if that's what you prefer to do. We went over some of their manufacturing requirements, and we also showed the UOP that they wrote to make it really easy to upload your own boards directly from within Eagle. So that's basically what we've done today. If there's any questions,
To pass on the savings to the users, it's really important that you download their DRU files and make sure you pass it, because that's how they're kind of passing that savings without having to do the check on their end. So if you do the check on Eagle itself on your board and it passes, and then you're pretty much guaranteed that you should be have some golden boards back. So some purple boards back, I should say.
Yeah, and then the whole gang run thing is really where the money savings comes from.
Yeah, the whole panel thing, yeah, as well. Okay, excellent. Well, Drew, I thank you very much for participating and joining us. Looking forward to it. And please don't forget that we currently are running an offer. It ends on this month. So if you like to place your order for Eagle Standard or Eagle Premium, you could visit our site and just put Eagle offer on the coupon code field. If it doesn't work, and then just email Eagle Sales at autodesk.com. That's Eagle Sales at autodesk.com, and they'll be able to do the steps that are necessary. That way you could get your credit towards your next PC board on OSH Park. Everybody, thank you for attending and have a great day. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you.
Bye, Drew. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.